He starts falling for her secretly and becomes obsessed. He repeatedly sends a ton of gifts and proposals to that waitress, bombarding her with cards. But she always rejects him because she doesn't like him at all. Who would like a complete loser like him? Plus, he's older and she's way younger. So, she straight up turns him down to his face, and he can't handle it. One day, at the same coffee house, he just kills her right there in front of a lot of people, and the other workers call the police and others, but by the time they arrive, it's too late. That guy ends up going to jail, but the girl doesn't survive. After that, once it gets dark and evening rolls around, people believe her spirit haunts that coffee house, disturbing everyone. A lot of people have even died from heart attacks because of her, so it's really not a place you want to go. That's when Buntai says, "No way, man. Nothing's going on, come on man, it'll be fun. Let's grab some good coffee. We couldn't party, but at least we should enjoy this. Come on, please." Buntai really pushes it sometimes, so Rocky and Tony both head out. The three of us sit there in chairs and start calling out to see if anyone's around. "Excuse me, we want to place an order." But no one responds. Rocky yells again, "Is anyone there? We want to order something. If not, just let us know." Then finally, a girl comes out. These people are saying, "What's taking so long? We ordered coffee, right?" The girl said it would be ready. She told us to sit and it would come in a bit. So, she takes the order and leaves. Then, they think it should arrive soon, but half an hour goes by, then an hour, and still no coffee. They don't get it. Are they picking coffee beans from trees, or what? Why is it taking so long to make coffee? That's when Buntai shouts, "Is the coffee coming, or what? No, we need to go home and get some sleep. We've been waiting for an hour now. Is she coming or not?" There's no sound coming from inside. There's no noise from where that girl went. Suddenly, they hear a girl scream loudly from inside, and they start to worry that something might be wrong with her. They wonder if that witch is up to something with her. They feel like they should go check it out. So, the three of them get up and were just about to head inside that area. The girl had just gone in, and they could hear some whispering in her ear, like someone was softly chatting her up. As they were listening to all this, suddenly, the door to the room where she had gone to make coffee bursts open. And as soon as they open the door, they find the same girl who had come to take their order lying there, blood everywhere. She's sprawled out on the floor, and they're completely shocked, thinking, "What the hell happened? Did someone take her out? And if the three of us are here? If they stay, everything will come down on them, blame and all sorts of trouble." These three just rush out without thinking, running outside, hopping on their bikes. The guy who was riding the bike starts speeding away, but at that same speed, the girl who took their order a little while ago, who was later found dead on the floor, appears, running alongside them as they zoom by. The moment we see her, Buntai's balance starts going off, but Rocky's sitting behind him, so they're somehow managing to handle their KTM. While doing all this, they're quietly starting to remember God, calling out his name as they're trying to speed up on their bike. Without looking back at that woman or the girl who's screaming and shouting, who's sometimes running alongside them, sometimes behind, and sometimes in front. She just wants them to crash their bike and wipe them all out. But somehow, they managed to get home safe. They made it home safe, but for a few days, all three were feeling really unwell. They kept seeing that same girl everywhere, whether they were sitting somewhere, trying to sleep with their eyes closed, or even with their eyes open, she was just there on the road. It was like they were starting to lose their minds. Their families took them home, got them to do some rituals and prayers, and after a bit of that, they started to feel a little normal again. But even now, they can't shake off the memories of that crazy night and the party. Look, nobody can forget this, and honestly, no one should. After this, these folks probably won't cause such a ruckus again, I'm pretty sure of that. But today, while wandering around down there, I didn't hear any noise, don't know what's going on. A lot of people really need to sort this out. They should fix things, or else it creates a ton of problems in the human world, and even ghosts can mess with you. Anyway, the whole story about this incident was sent to me by a guy named Adifier, who lives nearby. Hey, it's great that Adifier shared this story with us. We all learned a valuable lesson and had some fun too. If you've watched this video so far, make sure to like it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon, choosing all for notifications, because we bring you shocking and scary videos every day. If you want to reach us directly, just click the box. If you have any stories, topics, or information, feel free to send them in. Our next video might just be based on your suggestion. So, see you tomorrow. Thanks a lot. Hope you have a great day. See you again soon. Hey friends. So, 3 buddies, Rocky, Buntai, and Tony, decide to throw a party one day. And let me tell you, this party turns out to be so wild that they swear they'll never throw a party like that again. It's one of those creepy incidents that will leave you feeling weirdly scared. You know, when stuff like this happens, it sticks with you forever. Whether you're one of those guys or just any random dude or girl, nobody ever forgets it. You know what they say about parties. A lot of people are really into the idea of going out, having a blast, and chilling. But in all that excitement, many get caught up in trouble. These 3 guys had their own unique personalities. They grew up together in a neighborhood called Nala Sapera in Mumbai, which was pretty far out. They were born in a chawl area and spent their childhood there, playing around and doing whatever little studying they could manage together. Now, these guys, a few years back, they were getting pretty grown up, around 2021, but their behavior was so wild that their family was really stressed out. They'd spend the whole day just riding around on bikes, acting like total goofballs. One of them, Tony, had this old bike from his dad's time. His dad was thinking about selling it or getting rid of it since it wasn't being used. But Tony decided to fix it up and modify it in a different way, begging his dad for money to get it done. It was tough, but he managed to get it sorted out. He gets the bike painted and has all sorts of tools and stuff. When that bike used to run on the road, it made this weird, loud noise like fut 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 that was super annoying. So annoying it felt like it could burst your eardrums. But Tony thought that noise was really cool. He loved it. He felt like he was some big hero, like Salman Khan had nothing on him. He was having a blast, and along with him, Buntai and the other guy would sit on the back of his bike too. They spent the whole day just hanging out, living life like it was meant to be. According to them, everything was going well. They hadn't done much studying, so there was no stress about jobs or interviews. They just rode around on their bikes all day, munching on gutka. Meanwhile, their families were totally stressed out. They didn't come from a wealthy background, and their parents kept pressuring them to do something, anything. They were like, come on, at least do some labor or something to bring in some money for food. They were doing fine, but those 3 never listened to any of this. It all went over their heads. There came a time when Tony's bike completely broke down. It was in such bad shape that it couldn't be fixed anymore. One day, he fell off really badly. He jumped off, and the bike went down too. After that, the bike was done for. So, the 3 of them were just walking around on foot now. They roamed around all day long, but they haven't stopped. They just stick to nearby places, hanging out at some corners. They were just hanging out, sitting on the corner and strolling around. Then one day, they hit the jackpot when Banti's grandma passed away. Let me explain how it happened. Grandma always had a little bit of jewelry, and she loved Banti a lot. She used to say, when I'm about to kick the bucket, I'll give you those big gold earrings, and when you get married, you can give them to your wife. That's what Grandma always told Banti, along with some other bits of jewelry. That's how it is, his sister will take care of it, like when Grandma's time is up. When it's time for Grandma to go, she gives her earrings to Buntai. Buntai's mom keeps asking for them, saying, what are you going to do with them? Just give them to me, I'll keep them safe. When the daughter-in-law comes, I'll give them to her, right? What can you do? But Buntai says, no way, Grandma gave them to me at the last moment. It's my property now. I'll keep them wherever I want. Why should I give them to you? You guys can't be trusted. You'll sell them off. I'm not giving them to you, that's what he says. He goes to the goldsmith's shop to buy some earrings, and they were pretty expensive. Nice big old school earrings, really heavy too. When he sells those earrings, he makes enough money to buy a KTM. Once he gets the KTM, Tony and Rocky also level up and become total heroes. They used to be just average guys, but now they're all about those hero vibes. Now that he has the KTM, the three of us are gonna have a blast and have so much fun together. The vibe of the group is just different, man. It feels like we're floating in the sky, like our feet aren't even touching the ground. So, after that day, these three guys had something in their bikes that made this loud popping sound, like a pat pat pat. It was probably something with the silencer. Because of that, the KTM was making this really annoying noise too. We were just cruising around, having a blast, and it had been a few days since we got on the bike. Hey Banty, I've got a bit more cash on me. Why don't we hit up a party or something? It'd be a blast. People keep saying you've got money, so why don't you share? I mean, we're pulling out our cash every day to grab snacks and stuff, and you've got cash but aren't using it. When I ask you, you say you're saving it. But why save it? You said you were saving up so we could have a wild party one day and go crazy all night. You guys have enough cash to party all night. Those party people don't really speak up, you know? If they're not around, they'd say that's why it was set up. This is where their lives start, and it all goes downhill from here. They decide to throw parties in their area, which is a bit on the outskirts where people live. There was this coffee house there that did pretty well during the day. A decent crowd would show up, mostly people with some cash to spend, because it was a bit pricey. So, during the day, there'd be a good number of folks coming in, but by evening, it often closed down. Sometimes when we'd hang out and things would close down, they'd be like, "Man, where do we go now? Where do we sit?" Then this guy Buntai would say, "Let's just head out at night from KTM, we'll find something open on the highway, we can chill and party all night." So, that's what we'd do. We'd take off with the KTM, driving around all night, searching for something. We'd end up cruising around the whole area, but honestly, there was no hotel, bar, or coffee house open at night. At midnight, it's usually a bit open, but when they turn around, they see the coffee house in their area and are shocked. They can't believe it's open at this hour. It's never been open after dark before. Rocky says, "Yeah, it's never been open this late." They talk among themselves, and Rocky points out that it has a bad history. He's like, "How can it be open at night? Should we go or not?" "I'm not sure." Banty says, "What's the harm? Let's check it out, man." Hey, it's not like Rocky's just hanging around or anything. It could be possible, but who knows where Nara Sup came from. He might just show up while wandering around. So then what happens? Banty says, "Dude, nothing happens. I don't believe in all this ghost stuff." Rocky's like, "How can you not believe it? This coffee house has been here for ages, but it only opens in the evening and doesn't stay open late anymore. It used to be open till midnight, and there was this waiter who served a rich drunk guy,